family. What's going on tonight? Yeah. Check, baby, 1, 2, 3. Check, baby, 1. Check, baby, 1, 2, 3. Check, baby, check. Can you hear me? It's the Rize channel. Thank you for tuning in to the Rize channel. I am your majestical host, Queen Mel, on the mic, in the building. Baby, 1, 2, 3. Check, baby, check. Can you hear me? All right. So I hope you all have had a wonderful week. Mine was quite hectic. I was doing everything under the sun, working on websites, creating sales funnels, learning how to edit videos. I mean, such is the life of being a content creator. And let me tell you, some of it is fun and some of it is not so much fun. But without further ado, actually, before I move forward, please hit that like button. Okay, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Hit that like button. 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share, share, share. Please, family, if you're listening to this content, if you like this content, please help a sister get in the algorithm, because it is not the easiest thing to do. And just so you know, algorithm equals audience, okay? Plain and simple. That means by you clicking the like button, by you clicking the share button and subscribe, you are helping me to get to other people like you. All right, so we need to build this audience for the culture and to keep these positive messages and good content moving along to other people who need to hear it, whether they know it or not. So please hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to tap that notification bell and select all so that you will be notified whenever I go live. Alrighty, another thing I want to say before I get into the topic is please visit my website, rizewithqueenmel.com. That's Rize with a Z, not with the letter S. RIZE, rizewithqueenmel.com, and get your political t-shirts over there. I have some culture wear over there that really represents the foundational Black American and B1 cultural mindset of today, and expresses the current momentum of our very powerful movement that we are experiencing in this time of enlightenment and truth that is happening right now. Alrighty, so let me move on. Now, with this, if you don't know, or you may already know, that Microphone Check is a documentary that Tariq Nasheed is putting out. It's going to be in different theaters across the country, and I'll show you that a little bit later. I'm very excited about it because I'm a lover of hip hop. I believe in protecting our culture. I believe very strongly and firmly in gatekeeping our culture. And so a lot of the motivation behind Tariq putting this documentary out about the pioneers of hip hop, who started it and how it was innovated, and even the prior history of the music and dances of our ancestors from which hip hop was built on. So hip hop goes back further than what is technically considered to be the time frame of the birth of hip hop. And then the actual birth starting in the early 70s. And if you want, you could say even late 60s, because a lot of James Brown's music is responsible for the birth of hip hop. It's very foundational to the birth of hip hop. So if you really wanted to get thorough in giving the proper credit and characterizing the genre properly in terms of timeline, you have to give credit to James Brown. I mean, he could probably single-handedly make a legitimate claim to being partly responsible for James Brown. And of course, we, give all honor to him for what he brought to the culture and being, the foundation for what we know hip hop to be today. And so getting back to the motivation behind Microphone Check on or based on Tariq Nasheed's comments, he already wanted to, if I remember correctly, he was already in the process of developing the documentary, but then we just started hearing all of these comments from different celebrities, from people just from out of the woodwork, it seems. And that always happens whenever we're creating something that is taking on taking the world by storm, that is just popular and trends. Is something we're big trendsetters in that sense. And so we started hearing, and I definitely myself have heard a lot of people coming out of the woodwork trying to take credit for it. So I'm going to show you one of the people who seems to have been the biggest voice in deny, well, let me say, not say denying, but trying to claim that Latinos are responsible for helping to create hip hop. He's trying to say that they are co-creators of hip hop, which is a bunch of hogwash. So let me show you what this person looks like. Okay, computer, don't give me any trouble now. Okay, here we go. So he goes by the name Dr. Derek Cologne. I call him Derek the Colonizer Cologne because he seems to be the one mostly in the forefront trying to argue that Latinos have 50% or co-creator rights to claiming that they started hip hop, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I thought to myself, well, I've seen him on different people's YouTube channels spewing all of his lies. And I said, let me look him up so I can see what does he have going on. Because he goes by Dr. Derek Cologne, and I'm thinking doctor of what? From what I heard, he's a professor. Never heard anybody say what subject he teaches, but I came across his YouTube channel, and it's called Urban Exegesis. I'm sorry, it's a tongue twister. Urban Exegesis. Sorry, everybody. I'm so excited I can't even speak clearly. And he said exegesis means to dig out. And where the word urban comes in is crazy to me, because his channel reads here, welcome to the new urban exegesis channel. How you put new urban and exegesis, to me, I don't get it. What are you digging? You're digging out urban culture so that you can examine it and try to steal part of it. Is that what, just like they dig up our ancestors? Like this is sounding very colonizer-ish already. Low key, that is. And high key, very confusing. And what's the purpose? I don't understand. Like, what's the real purpose that he's serving in doing this? Well, I did kind of figure out something as to how this is tying to hip hop. It didn't make sense to me, and it still really doesn't make sense, but I'm going to try to make some sense out of something that's ridiculous. It says here, or I should say, it reads here, this channel is dedicated to urban apologetics. We decided to do a total refresh and start from scratch so we could give a clear-cut focus to the topics of defending the faith. Now, family, this has nothing to do with hip-hop, first of all. I don't know where urban even comes in when you're talking about defending the faith. Down here, he's got hashtag Jesus, the Bible. So this is some type of spin on how he looks at the Bible. And he probably uses some type of cultural, urban history to tie it together. I wouldn't even bother following anyone with this ideology because it just sounds confusing altogether to me. I don't understand the purpose unless somebody can enlighten me. But I said, okay, what's this urban apologetics? Let me look up the word apologetics, because I know it's not like when you apologize to someone, when you regret that you offended somebody or you caused harm to someone and you apologize. I'm thinking apologetics doesn't sound like that. So I look it up, and apologetics in Greek means speaking in defense. And it's the religious discipline of defending religious doctrines through systematic argumentation and discourse. And then I thought, aha, so that's what you're doing, Derek Colon. You're taking this speaking in defense and your arguments on religious doctrine by sort of applying this systematic argumentation to hip hop so that you could try to carve a space for revisionist in terms of just being a history revisionist. That's what you are, and a liar on top of that. So it's very exhausting to hear him talk, which we're gonna get into that clip. There's a clip. Let's see, where do I have this clip? One moment, family. Well, actually, before I get into the clip, I want to show you and tell you some of the claims that he is making about hip-hop music being partly created, or that they should share, Latinos should share in the creation of hip-hop. So if you can see here, this is James Brown. Let's see. I don't know what album. Someone says this is from the 70s Sex Machine album. But anyway, the single is Turn It. The single is Give It Up, Turn It Loose. And on this single, I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get a copyright strike. But what Mr. Derek Cologne actually had the nerve to claim is that by the simple fact that DJs were taking the break beats from songs and then the b-boys were dancing to it, so he tries to take that scenario and claiming that the break beats in this particular song, for instance, is a Latin breakbeat. And guess why he says it's a Latin breakbeat? Because the break section, all the instruments go down and you mainly hear the conga drum. That is just ridiculous. Okay. I mean, if that's not colonizer mentality, I don't know what it is. Because, first of all, here's the thing. If you want to try to claim that, and by the way, this song, Give It Up or Turn It Loose, was released in 1969. Okay. By the mere fact that the conga drums represent the breakbeat, you're trying to say that's a Latin breakbeat. So you're claiming ownership of hip hop through this roundabout way, claiming soul music, funk music, which is from James Brown. So essentially, what you would be saying is that you're partly responsible for creating Give It Up or Turn It Loose because the conga breakbeat is a Latin breakbeat. Okay, so now do you see how ridiculous that is? Do you know how many songs, how many genres of music have a conga beat in it? There's no such thing as a Latin breakbeat played by a conga. There is no such thing. And by the way, okay, just in case nobody's paying attention, please pay attention. We are the drum. Our people are the drum. We are the rhythm. We set the rhythm. We set the pace. We set the trends. So we are the beat. So the beat originates with us. So that dispels that claim all day. And then this whole, he also claimed that the Latino b-boys were doing certain dances like floor work and like the uprock moves. And he claims that the black break dancers weren't doing that. That is an invention, that's a Latino dance invention. And I don't even want to waste my breath getting all into that because we all know that breakdancing, floor work, I don't care what word you call it, he likes to focus on b-boying. No, b-boying was because b-boying was later when the Puerto Rican, Latino group, whatever, however you want to group those people together, it was later when they started to want to be a part of hip hop. That's why the words are a distinction. At the same time, though, you cannot argue that those dances were done by foundational Black American people before any such b-boying name came into effect. And then another thing, Mr. Doctor, I'm sorry, excuse me, I should say doctor, although I'm not clear what you're really a doctor of, Derek Cologne. He also tried to piggyback on the claim that the Jamaicans asserted that they also helped to create hip hop. Again, I would agree that other cultures, people from other cultures, contributed to it later, but for the most part, you imitated what had already been, uh, built, what had already been created. So colonizer Cologne tried to piggyback on the Jamaicans by lumping Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans together as one Caribbean group, and then claimed that Caribbeans are co-creators of hip hop. So again, you see this desperate need to crowbar yourself into something, like just try to find a crack or a crevice. Isn't that what slithering snakes do? I mean, like, gosh, I wish they would just come above ground and walk upright and talk straight and just be done with all of these ridiculous false claims. Let's see. I want to share with you. Okay, so here's the clip that here's the clip I'm going to show you. This is an exchange between Tariq Nasheed and Derek Colin, and this is on gosh, what's the content creator? Shout out to Red Supreme. Yeah, this is from Red Supreme's live that he was doing. Derek Colin came on first, and then Tariq got word that Derek Colin was on there telling a bunch of lies. So he popped on and was like, what's up, what's popping? Let's get it straight. So, so I'm going to go ahead and chime in, or have them chime in to this live and share that exchange with you now.
And Mario is part of the first generation, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. What's up, Tariq? How are you, man?
I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Good, my brother. Glad to have you up, Tariq.
What's up,
Yes,
man?
indeed. Man, let's first of all, we got to clear up a lot of stuff. There's no such thing as a Latin break. There's no such thing. That's something that our good brother, Mr. Cologne, has made up. Nobody was doing a Latin break because a Latin break doesn't exist. James Brown, when he did Give It Up and Turn It Loose, that wasn't Latin. Even in the song, when they were playing the congos, he was like, to the jungle, brother. In the jungle, brother, he was making a reference to Africa. The congo has always been an African instrument. When you say Latin, you're talking about Spanish culture. There's nothing Spanish about a damn congo. Let's get that straight. They try to play these little sleight of hand tricks when it comes to instrumentation and music genres. A lot of the congo playing in the early 70s, including the Incredible Bongo Band, there was a foundational Black American sister out of Detroit playing on that record. The same sister who was playing on some of the early Marvin Gaye records. If you look at or listen to the What's Going On record, listen to a lot of the congos in that. That's a sister from Detroit playing that. Nobody Latin. So let's stop this stuff. We knew about the congos. We knew about drums. We knew about percussive instruments. That was something that we've been doing that for a long time. We would use our body as percussive instruments. We had something called pat and juba, where we would pat on our bodies in rhyme. How many of y'all remember ham bone? The ham bone, have you heard? And we're patting our bodies. So we knew about percussive instruments. So we've always done that. We've always rhymed over beats as foundational Black Americans. Going back to the 1920s, there's Black people rhyming. And let's talk about what rapping is. Rapping is atonal rhyming over a beat, meaning that you're not committing to any type of note. There's records going back to the 1920s of foundational Black Americans rhyming over beats, not just the Jubileers.
I forgot to say fair use. I want to make sure that I say that on every video. This video is being used for critiquing purposes, for entertainment and educational purposes.
We have jazz singers doing this stuff. Going back to what Cologne said earlier about Pumpkin being one of the first producers in hip hop. Pumpkin was Panamanian. Nobody knew that guy was Panamanian at all. He was playing funk breaks, and the record "Rapping and Rocking the House," that's an interpolation of Cheryl Lynn, "Got to Be Real," foundational Black American sister.
So everybody knew he was Panamanian, brother. Nobody knew he was Panamanian. Everybody knew he was Panamanian. Tariq, come on, man.
Cologne.
Come on, man.
Shot Rock isn't. Listen, brother. Okay, if you want to talk about what people knew, you're talking about all of these Latinos who were there beforehand. Everybody in the movie, microphone check, including Shy Rock, who's rapping on "Rapping and Rocking the House." Right. She said wasn't no Puerto Ricans there in the early days. You understand?
Okay.
Melly Mel, who's in the movie, said wasn't no Puerto Ricans there in the early days. The first B-boys who were there in the early 70s, Sasa, Trixie, they said weren't no Puerto Ricans dancing with them. Coke La Rock, the first MC, wasn't.
Now, watch how Dr. Cologne is going to try to bypass all this information that he's receiving, and he's going to still try to just etch his way, just try to carve out a little spot wherever he can to make a point, to try to make a claim that Latinos should be credited for being creators. And what's interesting about this whole argument is that I think Tariq and maybe anyone else who is creating such a documentary might be more willing to even showcase what some of these other cultures did, not giving them credit for being creators, but at least be willing to showcase some of these other creators. But because you keep coming with lies and you keep trying to insult people's intelligence as if they don't know what they're talking about, it makes one not want to do shit for you. So I don't blame Tariq. I don't blame anyone who would just stick to their guns, maintain the argument, put the information out there, making sure that the misinformation is dispelled, and get these lies straightened out.
No Puerto Ricans around. Charlie Rock, who you had on your broadcast before, he said wasn't no Puerto Ricans around. Nobody knew these so-called.
He didn't say that. Crew. He didn't say that. Come on now.
Yes,
he said there wasn't. He said there wasn't many Puerto Ricans around. He said there was some.
Sir,
okay, he didn't say there were none.
No, in the early days,
days.
Puerto Rican, right? Wasn't no Puerto Ricans around. He said y'all came later. I have him on film saying this. You came later. I have him on film saying this, brother.
No, he's on my platform saying it. So yeah, I know he said that. Yeah.
Right. And are you saying all of these pioneers are lying, Cologne?
No. Let me explain. So when they say that again, I'm not where they were. I'm not in their head. I can't speak for them, and I won't even attempt to do that. As far as Chirac and
but you were in the Bronx.
I was in the Bronx, yes. Yeah, but let me answer Tariq. So as far as Chirac, Pumpkin is Panamanian and Costa Rican. The conga player that's playing on Rapping and Rocking the House is Puerto Rican. Okay, so and I have him in my documentary coming up.
So therefore, all songs with the conga in it, and because one Puerto Rican was playing the conga in that song, then that's that. Hey, everybody, that's what a Latin breakbeat is. Sheesh, my goodness.
I'm talking about that session and what happened in that session, and the climate in the Bronx. So when they say, this is what I want to know, Tariq. When they say, what element are they talking about? Are they talking about MCing? Are they talking about the B-boys? Because Charlie Rock says there wasn't a lot of B-boys, but then I bring up 5 foundational B-boy crews from 75 to 79, and he says I never heard of them.
Right.
So
Nobody's ever heard of those people.
No, that's not true, brother. That
is true. What flyers are they on?
TBB?
Yes. What flyers do you see those guys
I got
on?
flyers for you. I'll send you the flyers.
I would love to see them.
I'll send you the flyers. I'll
from
send
what
them to
you, and from what year?
By the way, Tariq said that he never got those flyers.
Yeah.
Right, the 70s. I'll send you the
I
flyers.
would like to see them. All
Okay.
of these other Puerto Rican B-boy crews you were naming, none of them are on flyers.
Yep, they're all on flyers, bro.
No,
TBB
how
is
come
on
nobody?
flyers.
Whose flyer? I would love to see these flyers.
He probably made those flyers 2 weeks ago. He's like, oh, I'm getting ready to, well, I shouldn't say he's getting ready to debate, because he didn't know he was going to debate Tariq on Red Supreme's live, which is good. That's like perfect, because neither one of them could prepare, so that's good. It's like you need to be able to state your case very well and prove your point without looking at some notes or something that you prepared, to further exaggerate your lie. So, but I can still just see him. He is just, it's like pathological. I can see him prior to this debate, because they have had other exchanges. They've had other conversations that Dr. Cologne had plenty of time to be prepared for. So I could see him like looking at videos and just clipping out every little piece of whatever he could eke out. I think I said etch out earlier, but I meant to say eke. Anything that he can just, find in a little tiniest, minuscule corner, that he can pull something out of the crack of his ass and say that they created something. It's absolutely cringe. It's very cringy to watch someone be this desperate to try to keep doing this. Conversation after conversation, debate after debate after debate. Okay, let me continue because I'm about to go in on him. Because I just really don't have a lot of respect for people like this, because it reminds me of every other colonization in this world. And it's amazing. Well, I shouldn't say amazing. It's irritating to see this coming from all different groups of people. We have all different groups, different ethnicities, different segments of people always coming at us or trying to leech off of our creations. And I can just see him. I can see him doctoring videos. I can see him creating a flyer. I can see him going, okay, so I said TBB, and then they said this last time, so let me make sure I put the date on there, and take an old flyer and just kind of revise it, embellish a little bit, because man, the desperation.
Jams.
Because
No,
nobody
weren't
heard
with
of these
us.
guys, bro. And these
That's
weren't
not
really
true.
B-boy crews. These were just like little cliques of Puerto Rican dudes hanging with each other. They weren't really B-boy crews. You're saying they're B-boy crews. Nobody knew them.
But we talked about earlier, you weren't on yet. We talked about what was happening on Herc's side of town, what was happening in Bronxdale where Mario was. And then we talked about what was happening in the South Bronx, 118, 129 St. Martin's. That's where they were. So if you talk to Grand Wizard Theodore, he'll tell you who those crews were. If you talk to Charlie Chase, he'll tell you who those crews were. The B-boy community knows who those crews were. I don't know how Charlie Rock does not know them He says he was around there, but he says up and down he has no record. But here's what's funny, Tariq. He says he doesn't know them, but he knows Track 2 and he knows Bomb 5. Track 2 is from Star Child Rock, one of those crews. Bomb 5 is from
nobody
TBB.
heard of these. Nobody heard of Star Child Rock. They've never been on no flyers back in the day.
Oh, brother, I'll send them to you.
Nobody's heard of them, dude.
Okay.
A couple of dudes hanging around on their block. Nobody knew these guys.
These are big crews, bro. These are not small
They were
crews.
not big crews. Nobody knows them. Nobody knows any of these guys, man. That's like
why
the
are you
dudes
saying
who
that?
like
Because Charlie
don't
said
nobody
that.
know these dudes, man. No, nobody knows them. Nobody knows these guys. You guys are trying to make some insignificant dudes relevant that nobody knew in the 1970s.
Okay, I'm going to move him forward a little bit because, again, he is beating a dead point further to death. It's like repeating the same nonsense.
I'm not. He did say that, Tariq.
Right.
Tariq,
so why are you denying it? Okay, if he said it, why are you denying it now, Derek?
I'm not denying it. I'm telling you what he meant by what he said.
Oh, he meant something else.
That's what he's saying. I can't speak
there
for
you
him,
go,
bro.
family. See, this is what we're saying. This is why we're setting the record straight, because y'all doing this little word, this little sleight of hand game.
Brother.
Well, it meant something else. He said this, but it meant something. That's why we have to get the record straight with you and the Fat Joes out here.
So what about the Zulu King? So what about the Zulu Kings?
What about them, dude? What about the Zulu Kings? You talking about?
What about the Zulu Kings? They are part of the foundation. Lord.
Oh, they're part of the foundational crews. The Zulu Kings are part of those foundational crews.
The thing is, a lot of those cats.
Our foundational crews. Okay, you again, he's trying to mix in the crews that were foundational, and then like whatever was derived from that were probably involving Latinos. That's what he's doing. I got his number. I see what his game is.
Were nomadic B-boys and B-girls, so they were going all around the Bronx, dancing, clicking up with people. So they were a crew or a clique. These were like informal gatherings. You get 3 or 4 people who are individual dancers. They become a clique for that day, and then they become individual
But we're
dancers.
not talking about that. We're talking about the Zulu Kings. We're talking about the specific Zulu Kings. Charlie Rock is a member of the original 11 Zulu Kings.
Okay,
that's not a nomadic. I'm asking you if they're part of these foundational crews, which they are. It's TBB, it's South Soul, it's the Zulu Kings, it's Star Child Rock, it's CC, and it's the Rockwell Association. And when you got legends,
these are not foundational crews. These are just a lot of these are random crews. It's TBB. They're not a foundational crew. What are they the foundation of? You're trying to mix some TBB with the Zulu Kings.
They're the first foundational B-boy crews.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
I'm talking about they're the first foundational. Oh my gosh, man! If this is not colonizer behavior, I have some other words for this, but I know this is YouTube, and I'm trying to keep it cute. Man, he went for, okay, he tried to say, the Zulu Kings, they're foundational, okay, but like the early crews were like in the Zulu, and then the early B-boys were like oh my gosh. And Tariq is on every step. Tariq is like all on his toes. Tariq is on the corns of this man's toes and his heels before he even make another step to try to advance this lie.
All the crews. These are the
TBB is not the first time. No, you can't be the first foundational group of anything, and nobody's ever heard of you. They're not the first foundational group.
Everybody.
They're not comparable.
Is.
They're not comparable to the Zulu Kings and Charlie Rock and those guys. Charlie Rock and those guys are on early flyers in the 1970s. No, TBB, they're not.
No, they're not.
Charlie Rock. Charlie Rock's name is on the flyer in 1977, sir.
Yes, he's an MC. He's a rapper. He's an MC at that point. He's not
Charlie
there
Rock
as
was
a
an
B-boy.
MC. Charlie Rock
is
was
with the Soul Sonic Force. Yes, he's
Charlie,
an MC.
Charlie Rock made.
Notice how he tries to illuminate and highlight dancing and a conga beat as exemplary for the hip hop culture, when we all know the hip hop culture includes and it involves a lot of different artistic facets, right? The hip hop is an artistic form which includes a lot of different things: fashion, swag, lingo, dancing, singing, rapping, DJing. I mean, so that's a large universe compared to these two little things that he is trying to make the essence of hip hop. It's like when you drink a soda and it's got a certain amount of sugar, it's got a certain amount of carbonated water, and it's got a certain amount of color and flavor to it compared to the flavored water. You know, it's just got a little hint of flavor in the water, but it's pretty much just water. It ain't no damn soda. So he's trying to make his water be soda.
Made a record in the early 80s. So he was rapping in the early 80s, but he was a B-boy.
I know he was a B-boy. Yeah.
In the 70s.
I know he was a B-boy in the 70s.
So what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the name on the flyer. When he's on that flyer, he's not on there as a B-boy, he's on there as an MC. That's what I'm telling you. These are his words, not mine. I've already discussed this with him.
At that time, he was still a B-boy. He was a B-boy. You had Melly Mel. Melly Mel was a B-boy. No, Melly Mel. Right, I'm saying Melly Mel was a B-boy, but he was an MC too.
I know.
Grandmaster Flash was a B-boy. Grandmaster Flash was a B-boy too.
Yes, I know.
Skyrock was a B-girl. A lot of them rapped and rhymed and danced. So that's not anything. Yes. That's not saying anything, sir.
I agree with you. Everything you said.
Okay,
yeah,
but the thing is, you tried to do a sleight of hand to make it seem like there was a difference between the two, as if they weren't doing the same thing. Many of them were B-boys, B-girls, MCs, all wrapped up in one. Graffiti artists, all wrapped in one. Herc was a graffiti artist as well as a DJ. So a lot of them encompassed a lot of the elements of hip hop. So let's not do the sleight of hand.
But do you think it's responsible of you, somebody who's doing a documentary at that caliber, that you're going to do yours? Do you think it's responsible that you're saying that these other crews did not exist or nobody knew about them? Have you tried to speak to any of these people?
Oh, cry me a river. Now he's taking a different stance. See, the crowbar didn't, he wasn't able to crack the door open with the crowbar. So now he's trying to play the, we were being left out. How could you, he's trying to say that you're being disingenuous by leaving the Latinos out. But as I already said, if I had to hear this type of crap from somebody all the time and trying to talk to me like I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm doing a documentary, I would leave you out too. I really would.
It's responsible to tell the truth, because many people within your community, the white Latino community, are going around here trying to colonize our culture by lying. And you weren't there.
Have you spoken to them?
I've spoken
have you spoken to any of these guys?
I've spoken to all of the pioneers, almost every significant pioneer. I don't need to speak to Batch.
Have you spoken to Charlie Chase?
When I tried to speak to you and other Puerto Ricans, y'all were ducking and dodging and dipping and diving.
When I tried to speak, that ducked out.
Right,
I was the only one that ducked out.
When I tried to speak to you, you kept dipping and diving and ducking out and flaking out.
Okay, now when he says that he was Man, I just can't. I got all these tongue twisters. The words are just not coming off of my tongue tonight. When Tariq just said about Dr. Cologne flaking out, I remember, I think it was probably a couple of months ago, a few months back. I was listening to a clip from Tariq's live, or either from his X. I think it was from X. And I recall when he said, and I have to give Tariq credit because he's better than me. During the time that Dr. Cologne flaked out, Tariq said he was trying to give the guy a chance to, to be interviewed. Tariq said he'd interview him and round up the other guys that Dr. Cologne had, the other Puerto Ricans or whomever else claimed that they had contributed something or whatever. Tariq was willing to interview them and speak to them and see what they had to say, even after they had been yapping on the internet talking shit, basically. So he was trying to, I guess, give him the benefit of the doubt. And guess what ended up happening? Tariq, I guess, had to take a flight or whatever to meet the guy. And then he ended up calling Tariq back, oh, I can't make it because of this and that and the other. And Tariq made a change, like a last minute change. And then I guess they were going to do another location. And then he called Tariq back again and said, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it because my wife, he actually said his wife. Okay, he used his wife as an excuse for backing out. So another thing I find very colonization-ish about this man is that very recently he asked Tariq if he can sit next to him at the theater premiere of Microphone Check. I mean, if it's like, well, if I can't beat him, I guess I'll join him so I can, have the greatness rub off on me, and maybe I will be accepted as this leader and spokesperson of Latino co-creation of hip hop if I'm just sitting next to him. Are you kidding me? The audacity, the caucasity, because Dr. Cologne, I don't know where you grew up. I don't know how many Black people you've been around. I don't know how many of those other palm-colored people you've been around, but you have the mindset, sir, of a suspected white supremacist, an SWS. The more I listen to this, because I don't like to put people in a box like that quickly without really listening and examining. And I've been listening and examining this for quite some time now. But you, sir, you have taken on that mentality that says, I'm going to take over something, whether I actually have true ownership or not. I'm going to stake a claim in something that I know full well doesn't belong to me. I mean, can you imagine if we all got online every day talking about how we created the salsa and the merengue and, whatever else culturally artistic that Spanish people do or Latinos do? Can you imagine if we got out there claiming it? And we probably would have more of a rightful claim than they would, because a lot of their music is based in Afro American and African. Actually, I want to try to be very specific with this. African beats, the foundation of a lot of their music. So if we wanted to kind of go full circle and claim a genetic connection to that. I mean, that's what Afro Latin music is. Latin music is pretty much Afro Latin music. Let's face it. So let me continue. I think I've got one more minute on this because I cannot take much more than that of him.
Wanted to speak to Charlie Chase, and I told you to hook me up with him. Y'all start dipping and diving and ducking and dodging. So I don't want to hear that.
No.
I don't want to hear that. Let's not. We're not going to do that because when I went to the Bronx looking for you guys, none of y'all hit me up. I went to the Bronx. Hey, I called you personally. I said, Derek, give me some of these Puerto Rican pioneers. Give Crazy Legs information.
You didn't ask me that. You didn't ask me that.
That's a lie.
Come on. You didn't ask me that.
That's a goddamn lie. That's a damn lie.
Yes, I did. My information.
And I asked for all of those people's information. That's a goddamn lie. You're lying now. Well, I asked for some of these Puerto Ricans. Did I not ask for Crazy Legs information?
No, you did not.
That's a lie.
You did not.
Now you're just straight up and down lying. Which
Keep
is
going.
the point.
I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Sir.
You're going to say something else,
sir. Now you're just not. You're arguing in bad faith because now you're just not telling the truth.
You didn't ask.
I don't believe him. I do not believe him because he has not said one word to prove, demonstrate, or support that he was forthcoming in giving the information to Tariq during the time when they were making arrangements to get together and discuss this. He hasn't offered anything except say, no, you didn't. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. No, you have the track record of being the liar.
For Crazy Legs.
Yes, I did. I asked you to hook me up with these Puerto Rican pioneers. And you were like, I'm going to see what's up. I'm going to hook you up with this one random person that don't nobody know. I'm like, okay, hit me up.
No. Yeah,
he never hit me up either.
Randy?
Yeah, he never hit me up when I was out there. Right. And he's a nobody. And he's another.
What happened to Randy? What happened to Randy? He pulled Randy out of his ass. Oh my gosh. Oh, help me.
Nobody, by the way, but I have your nobody on there. He never hit me up anyway, and I gave you guys my number.
I can't.
So don't play that. Yeah. Don't play that game as if I didn't reach.
I gave him your number. Hold on.
And he never hit me up. And he never hit me up. So I was there for all of it.
I can't control that. But here's where you didn't go. I don't want to. No. I don't want to hear where I didn't go. I was there in the Bronx.
Oh, stop it! Stop! For what? Go to Katona Park for what? For what? For what? What am I going to do at an outdoor concert? What am I going to do at an outdoor concert?
Interview people, because that's where they all.
Okay, that's okay. You can see how ridiculous this man is. He wanted Tariq to go all over the world, change his schedule. No, I don't want to do it here. I got to go here. Oh, I got the people here. Oh, I don't have the people. Oh, there's Randy that nobody knows. Randy doesn't surface. Oh, but you should have went to the park. You should have went to the park where the concert was, and you could have interviewed people. Are you kidding me? First of all, a concert at the park is not a decent place to interview someone. They just weren't able to be forthcoming because they knew that they couldn't produce anything to substantiate this lying position. And that's all it is to that. So let us move on from that shit show. I mean, my goodness. Boy, I love being an artistic, creative Black American and having powerful, creative ancestry coming from a legacy of strong people, because everybody wants to latch on. They love what we are, who we are. Well, they love what we do, you know. They want to wear our crown, but they don't want to live our struggle. Okay, so, all right. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and finish this live with, I'll just show the trailer for a microphone check. And I'm waiting for the tickets to be available in Chicago. That is my hometown. And I looked on the website that shows where the tickets are currently available at. And I was like, okay, where is Chicago? Okay, because I want to, soon as I see Chicago on there, I am getting my ticket. Alrighty. All right, so let's see what cities we got going on. Microphone check. The hidden history of hip hop. Okay. Los Angeles is Thursday, May 23rd. New York, May 25th. Dallas, May 23rd. Detroit, May 25th. Atlanta, May 25th. This one, Washington, D.C. Look at that Kamala on her. Oh, somebody tried to, it looked like they tried to put a little color on her to make her look halfway black as she claimed to be. They should have, she's in front of the gate. They should have put her behind the gate like she's trying to get out. But, you know, that's another story for another day. So Washington, D.C. is May 23rd. Atlanta, May 25th. New Orleans, May 22nd. And I guess Washington, D.C. is, let's see. I thought one of these had 2 shows, but this looks like it's just repeated on here. Alrighty, Chicago, not there yet. All right, let's get into the trailer, why don't we? And we're going to roll this beautiful hip hop footage.
This is the 50th anniversary of hip hop, and we still have a lot of discrepancies as far as the origins of hip hop, a lot of claims, who did what, who was the first this, who was the this and that, and such. But at the end of the day, we need a definitive story, all right? And that story can only be told by the founders of this culture.
Like everything was being driven and influenced by young, Black, American culture, like the slang, the style of dress, the initial music that we chose.
Look at all the boroughs. You got, money making Manhattan and money earning Mount Vernon and Brooklyn. The Bronx was the boogie down Bronx. We was partying up there.
I am Coke La Rock, the first MC of hip hop. First cat to pick the mic up.
I introduced rapping to the turntable because when I came with it, nobody in the world was doing it. I'm right after Rudy Ray Moore.
They want to come in the mix. They want to say, we started. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. What came to be known as hip hop was solely an African-American creation.
What would you get out of some Jamaican toast? What is that? I've never heard of a rapper use a Jamaican toast or a Jamaican flute as a rhyme. I'd never heard of it, and I don't know where that myth came from.
My name is legendary King Trixie from the Bronx, DX from the West Side. I am the first breakdancer.
And that narrative that hip hop has had 3 founding fathers, that's been rolling for the last almost 30 years, which isn't true. You don't have just 3 people who created hip hop. Hip hop was created by a number of different people.
I am the grandfather, the godfather of the graffiti culture. I am the first element of hip hop.
the roots of hip hop being Jamaican, absolutely false.
My name is MC Shara. I am a founding member of the MC/rap culture.
Cassette tapes was the internet of our time. It just traveled around by hand.
I know for a fact that the B-boy stand started from the guards, the 5%ers that would be at the jams back in the days who were acting as security.
If they get the real truth.
Okay. Now, I want to go back just to this one part. Let's see. These guys here. Now, I don't know if they're Puerto Rican. I don't know where this photo came from, if there's any information on who these young guys are. But what I am hoping is that Tariq was able to tell us some information, some details, some type of backstory even, that would connect other cultures, i.e. Puerto Ricans, because they were the ones that had picked up our culture in the New York, the Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn area, boroughs, and those places. So I'm hoping that will be tied in to the story in the documentary, where we get a little bit more insight or a connection to how they did come into the culture, the truthful version of how they came into our culture, the hip hop culture.
Security.
If they get the real truth of how it all was created, then so many lies would not be able to be in existence.
All right, there you have it. Microphone check, coming to a theater near you. You can go to microphonecheck.com to get your tickets. I am going to be watching that website like a hawk, so that when the Chicago tickets are available, I can get mine. I'm going to go to the movie theater in my area to see the documentary, and I'll come back and do a review on it. So I'm just really excited. I want to see how the story flows in the documentary and what other information comes out of it. I want to give a shout out to Red Supreme for the live that he did, which was one of the clips, which was the video that I showed with the debate exchange between Dr. Colin. Okay, I'm not going to say it there. I just thought about something. Dr. Colin, you know where your colon is located? Oh, his name, I could just go on. Colonizer colon. It's like, it's all shit. It's just all shit. It's just, my goodness. So, okay, what was I saying? Yeah, shout out to Red Supreme for doing that live, and shout out to Tariq Nasheed for keeping our culture, front and center, telling the stories that we know to be true and speaking truth to power. And I am going to go ahead and sign off. Please, again, family, I am trying to get my numbers up. Please don't watch this and not hit the like button. Please subscribe and hit the like button so that I can continue to bring you all kinds. I have a year's worth of information, that I will be bringing to you. That's how long I have been planning before I even started this channel. I didn't just throw this up here just so I can talk and, you know, do something for shits and giggles, right? Like, no, I have a purpose for doing this, a very spiritually led purpose, a very intentional purpose. And it's very important, not only to me, but to our community, to our culture, particularly in the time that we're living in right now, where there are so many forces against us, political forces that threaten our very existence, um, threatens our culture on different levels. You see already, even through the politicians, Kamala with her fake pandering ass up there, you know, placating to hip hop artists that don't represent us, playing hip hop music at her little parties where she gets these little minions to come. And I guess these people get paid. I don't know. The whole pandering circus is all of these people that come into the political spaces looking like us so that the Democrats, the Demorats, can try to look like they have some type of connection to our people. So this is what we're up against, and we have to continuously fight the good fight. And part of that is making sure our messaging is counter to the agenda that they have, and that it expresses the narrative that is true to us as a people. Please support me in my ability to do that, because without your support, I can't spend the time to come up here, do the research, prepare information, set up the live and all of that. It takes time and effort. So please, I see in previous videos that a lot of you are watching, but you're not hitting that like button, you're not hitting the subscribe button. And whatever I got to do to get you there, I'm going to do my best to do that. So signing off as usual, family. Rise in everything you do, elevate in everything you think, and reach higher for all that you desire. Till next time, be one. Good night.